yourself. Hi, my name is Eileen Sanchez. I'm an enthusiastic 21-year-old student at the University of North Florida. I'm majoring in criminal justice and minoring in communications and looking for professional development in the field of law. The second question is, what are 3 of your strengths? My first strength is I'm a hard worker. For example, at my last job, I started off as a hostess, and because I began doing more work than what was expected and more work than what was needed, by the second week, my employer decided to give me a promotion and I became the administrator of the restaurant. My second strength would be that I'm a very positive person. On Valentine's Day, I decided to come early into the office, and I had noticed that someone made the mistake of sitting 12 people onto a 2-person table. This was a very stressful situation because we were overly booked, and because I stayed positive and calm throughout the entire situation, I was able to fix the problem by rearranging reservations and sitting them in our lounge, and they were happy with where they were sitting. My third strength would be that I'm bilingual. I speak Spanish and English. I was raised speaking Spanish, and as I grew older, I learned English. And a perfect example is at my last job, a customer called, and my coworker was unable to understand her because she spoke Spanish. Because I was the only Spanish-speaking employee, they handed me the phone, and I was able to translate and help her, and everybody was happy. And the third question is, what is a weakness you have? A weakness that I have is that I'm too organized. So an example of this would be that, let's say I had a project due. I would not be able to focus on that project unless my workspace was organized and clean beforehand. And that can be a problem sometimes if I have a time crunch. So yeah, that would definitely be my weakness. The fourth question is, are you a team player? Yes, I am a team player. I'm the vice president of the dance team the vice president of the dance club at the University of North Florida. And in order for us to compete in competitions, we need to have choreographies and we need to practice these choreographies. And in order to do that, I have to work with my team, the actual president of the dance club, the officers, and the choreographers. We all have to work together in order to come up with a perfect show. And so yes, I am a team player. The fifth question is, describe a situation where you had to adjust quickly to changes over which you had no control. A perfect example of this is when I was at a dance competition one time. My team was ready to perform, and as the music started playing, we all noticed that the music was going 10 times slower than what it's supposed to. So instead of having to dance normally, we had to adjust right there on the spot and start dancing slower than what we were expecting. So that would be a perfect example. And the sixth question is, what kind of supervisor do you work best for? I work best for a supervisor that is understanding and cares about me, my colleagues, and our clients. So my last supervisor was very understanding. And one time I had come down with bronchitis and I was unable to work for a few days, and he was able to find someone to cover my shifts. And because of this, I did not have to worry about that situation at all. So he was very understanding. So the last question is, give an example of a time you had to work with a difficult person and how did you handle it? A perfect example of this is one time a customer came into the restaurant when I was working as a hostess, and he was very impatient and he didn't want to wait for his table, and I was unable to seat him because there were still customers eating on that table. And he began yelling at me, calling me names. It would have been a very stressful situation, but it wasn't because I stayed calm and positive, and I was able to talk to my manager, rearrange seatings, and I was able to talk to my manager and ask him if it was okay to sit him at a different table. And once I sat him down, by the end of his dinner, he was smiling and everybody was happy. So that's a perfect example. Thank you so much.